Good evening. It's the biggest terrorist bust of 2020. 9 Al-Qaeda terrorists. 9 Al-Qaeda terrorists have been nabbed by the NIA after a series of raids in West Bengal's Murshidabad and in Ernakulam in Kerala, God's own country. Huge cache of arms and ammunition has been seized by them. Their efforts to try and make improvised explosive devices using firecrackers and also country-made pistols have been unearthed. Now, according to NIA, they were planning attacks, major attacks at vital installations in major cities across India, including the Delhi NCR. And the interesting fact is that there is also a link to Jammu and Kashmir, where they were trying to ferry arms and ammunition into Jammu and Kashmir. Now, the fact is that they are both from West Bengal and Kerala, non-BJP states, both known for appeasement of minorities. Transit remand has been granted and they are to be presented in a Delhi court by the 24th of September. Now, try and understand this. Murshid Hassan was a casual labourer. Now, these are the people who've been arrested, the 9 people who've been arrested. Yaqub Biswas was a salesman. Musharraf Hussain was a cook, a paratha maker. Ataur Rahman was pursuing graduation. He's a second-year student. Abu Sufyan is engaged in farming, was a tailor. Liwan Ahmed is an electrician. Mainul Mondal is a cook. Najmus Saqib is pursuing graduation in computer science. And Al Mamoon is a mason and he's also a driver. All of them hail from Murshidabad. Let's take a look at all the developments and, of course, the strong political angle that's emerging to this story.
The home of an alleged terrorist. Atiur Rahman's house in Murshidabad, West Bengal was among 9 raided by NIA sleuths in the wee hours today in West Bengal and Kerala. Recovered jihadi literature to digital devices, articles and manuals for homemade explosives, firearms, even locally fabricated body armor. The NIA probe on since September last year had zeroed in on these 9 as members of the Al-Qaeda, 6 of them operating from Murshidabad in Bengal, 3 from Ernakulam in Kerala. Piecing together what was a vicious terror plot, NIA sources told CNN NEWS18 the terrorists had been radicalized and indoctrinated for what Pak-based Al-Qaeda functionaries called anti-India jihad. They'd been motivated to carry out attacks in multiple cities and vital installations, and Delhi NCR was on top of potential targets. Members of the interstate module had planned to travel to Delhi to procure arms. They were actively engaged in fundraising drives for the plot. Amid the legalities of their remand and further questioning towards unearthing the deeper nexus, the politics was not far behind. West Bengal and Kerala, both non-BJP ruled states, both known hubs for Islamist terrorist activity, opportunity ripe for fireworks.
मुझे लगता है बंगाल की सरकार जानबूझकर इनको सिल्टअप दे रही क्योंकि इसी में उनका राजनीतिक हित है। ऐसा कोई डिस्ट्रिक्ट नहीं वेस्ट बंगाल में जहां कभी ना कभी कई 5-7 सालों में बम विस्फोट नहीं हुआ हो। तो लगातार ये जो घटना हुई है, इससे पता चलता है बंगाल की सरकार इस मामले में सॉफ्ट है।
State Governor Jagdeep Dhankar hit out too, terming Mamta's approach to law and order an ostrich stance. Alleged Bengal terror hub Murshidabad, it turns out, is also the parliamentary constituency of Congress's Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, long facing the heat for madrasas of radicalization. More brickbats, both for Congress and TMC.
আমাদের রাজ্যের আইন শৃঙ্খলার পাশাপাশি আমাদের রাজ্যের যে ইন্টেলিজেন্স সেই ইন্টেলিজেন্স দুর্বল থেকে দুর্বলতর হচ্ছে। খুব সাধারণ কারণ এই কারণে যে পশ্চিমবঙ্গের পুলিশ প্রশাসনের উপরে রাজনৈতিক হস্তক্ষেপ পুলিশ প্রশাসনের দক্ষতাকে ক্ষয় করছে। দক্ষ লোককে যোগ্য জায়গায় বসানোর সময় এসে গেছে।
No missing out on the fact that the tempo for polls builds in Bihar. Is the appeasement brand of politics, TMCs in West Bengal and lefts in Kerala working as cover fire for radicals in these arrests? That's fodder enough. Bureau Report, CNN NEWS18.
It's a straightforward question on this TRS special weekend edition, ladies and gentlemen. Are Didi and Pinarayi soft on radicals? And is this appeasement politics giving cover fire for radicals? Let's get into the debate straight up. RP Singh, Sardar RP Singh of the BJP with us, Professor Dinesh Varshney with us, Manojit Mandal with us, and we'll have Raj Lahiri also joining us from Bengal in just a bit. Sardar RP Singh, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary comes out and says, first up, before we start the debate, I have to offer my condolences for the loss at your end. And it is something which is a lesson for all of us. So I'd like to make a mention of that. Please accept our condolences. And it's very, very sincere of you to be able to be present for the debate tonight, on a political debate tonight. But Sardar RP Singh, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary blames it on the BJP, saying ये माहौल जो आपने बनाया ना, उसकी वजह से poor people, जो गरीब तबके के लोग हैं, they are easy fodder, easy pickings for organizations, radical organizations like Al-Qaeda. That's what he has also said, while blaming the Trinamool for everything else. How would you want to respond to what is happening?
Anand, before I respond to what Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is saying, I'd like to thank you for the condolences, and I'd like to make a small point here. That I lost my brother because of the mask. Because he is a very religious person. He has been attending Guru Harmandir Sahib from last 43 years. And mask, they were not wearing masks within the temple complex. Through your channel, I make a request to all your viewers and people who manage gurdwaras and temples that make masks mandatory for every place, whether it's place of worship or outside. Coming to the Adhir Ranjan, what Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is saying, let's be clear. Something like, you remember, in some 10 years back, Azamgarh used to be similar hub for terrorists in UP. And then also that time, tear used to roll through Sonia Gandhi's cheeks. And similarly, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is trying to support the terrorists. Why are you supporting terrorists? Why are you supporting any terror activity? On pretext of saying that, oh, because poor are being pushed, or there's a particular narrative built. I mean, people who are involved in terrorism are not there because of any caste, creed, or any other reason. They are because of we all know, because of religious reasons, and they have been fed by elements across the border to get involved into it. And then when they get support from the local government or local administration, or when they find an environment which is conducive to do such activities, do such activities, whether it was Azamgarh or now the constituency of Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary.
Yeah, but that's also Manojit Mandal. How would you want to come in? Because he's also squarely blamed it on the Bengal police, the Kolkata, and saying that they are rather working at suppressing opposition rather than fighting terrorism. And this is the appeasement politics for which we are paying a price. Murshidabad has been infamous and has been in the news for all the wrong reasons. And this is clearly worrying.
Let me begin by extending my condolence to my good friend RP Singh for the loss in his family. I could not exactly get because of the audio problem, but nonetheless, my thoughts are with him. Coming back to the issue at hand, I think you have to go by the statistics. The fact remains that in Bengal, in the last 20 years, it did not have any major terrorist problem. Let me tell you this. After the American Center attack in 2001, for the last 2 decades, we did not have any such issue. Now, on the issue of terror, if somebody can play politics, then we can go on and on. We can even blame on the government for the Chinese invasion right now. Should we do that, Anand?
No, you're trying to equate. You are trying to equate. You are trying. No. You are trying to equate a nation's expansionism and its expansionist designs, which has been there since the time of independence. Their designs have been there. You are equating that with Al Qaeda's radicalization in its module and Pakistan's machinery. No, that is what you are trying to do. Is that what you're trying? Raj Lahiri wants to come in. Raj Lahiri. No. What are you trying to say, sir? Murshidabad, Kerala as radical outfits. Sir, the other day, don't tell me 20 or 30 years. It has happened in the past also, sir. It has happened in the past. Raj Lahiri.
What did you do with Rashid Khan?
Raj Lahiri.
In 90s, when there was a similar, unlike Bombay blast, there was a Bowbajar blast in 90s in Bowbajar. And the accused was Rashid Khan. What happened to Rashid Khan? Where did he go? Who left that?
He was the other person
in 2010. Deganga, Naliakhali, Canning, Usti, Padui, Kaliaganj, Kaliachok,
You are at the top of your voice. You don't know who was in power in 1990s?
No, it is not.
Let us not blame that. Who was there in the power? You were there in the opposition. Your leader was there in the opposition. Your leader was a central minister.
What happened?
Central minister, cabinet minister.
Were
Don't
you born in
forget that.
1993?
No, whether somebody was born in 1993 or not is not the question, sir. And don't try and be condescending in your tone, Mr. Manojit Mandal. Sir, I can also ask you where were you born and for the last 11 years, what has been happening under Mamata Banerjee's watch if the other terror attacks happened in somebody else's watch. No, let me ask you, sir, in the last 9 years, what has been the crackdown in Murshidabad? Let's just look at Murshidabad and this one. I just want to walk across and I'm going to show it to you. Have a look at this and you tell me what has been the answers to what has happened in Murshidabad, what has been the answers to what has happened in Kerala. The Al-Qaeda modules have been active in Kerala. They've also been active in Murshidabad. Look at this. Porous border with Bangladesh. Has that been sealed? The madrasas of terror. Has there been a crackdown which has happened? These stories came out. Training, funds were being raised for madrasas and were being used for radicalization. Arms and ammunition was busted by the NIA itself in this investigation. The effort was what? To tone it down. Effort was what? To play it down, Manojit Mandal. Among multiple West Bengal locations which is on the radar of the NIA. And this is that porous border of Murshidabad, Manojit Mandal. And the Jamaatul Mujahideen Bangladesh has been active there through FICN. All of these. And as I bring in Professor Dinesh Vashne, also look at Kerala. Al-Qaeda has been active, radicalization has happened, and I'll tell you, from the anti-CA protests, the Delhi riots, to the gaming, to the arrest of a Pakistani spy, there is a Kerala connection everywhere. There are organizations with their headquarters in Kerala who are under the scanner for fueling social unrest and also backing terror intentions. ISIS terror training module. July 2020, UN report flagged out Al-Qaeda's terror threat and also its presence in Kerala, taking root in Kerala. Used as a base for attack in Jammu and Kashmir is what this report also comes out and says. Now what will you say? Turkey funding terror activities in Kerala, and there are a lot of organizations which are getting direct money coming in through Turkey. Why? Enter from the tip, attack at the top. That's the kind of war cry which is happening in Kerala. And who is currently under, whose bastion has it been? Who's currently trying to save all of them and rush to the benefit and rush to the rescue of those people who are under the radar for pushing these kind of activities on our soil? Professor Dinesh Vashne. So why is it wrong to ask these questions?
Anand, first of all, please allow me to express my heartfelt condolences for a loss in RP Bhai's family. We are contemporary from student movement in Delhi University. Now I come to the point. Look, the largest losses or the biggest losses faced by the left movement throughout the world is through terrorist movements. And who are the funder and sponsors of this terrorist movement, whether from Taliban, from Al-Qaeda and ISIS? Thousands of research papers has established, including the newspaper researches, that they were funded and started by the CIA and Mossad from the America and Israel.
It is very convenient. Why are they being radicalized and why are they getting a safe haven in Kerala, sir? You please tell me, sir, there are 8 ISIS widows in Afghanistan. Where do they come from? There are 8 highly radicalized ISIS widows languishing in a jail in Afghanistan. You tell me where they come from. You tell me where they come from. What? No, I am asking you, what has been the crackdown that has happened? What has been the crackdown that has happened? I am not.
Saxena from Madhya Pradesh of ISI agent.
Sir,
belonging to
sir, they were cracked down upon. Sir, they were cracked down upon. There is one aspect of working for money as a spy, and there is another aspect that you are radicalized and you are being allowed a free run because you are being protected in the guise of appeasement politics. Sir, there is a difference. Raj Lahiri, there is a difference between the two. Don't try and equate the two. There is one person who is saying China aggression कर रहा है तो उसको भी जोड़ देते हैं with terror activities and with radicalization. What is going on? Raj Lahiri.
There is a newspaper called Noor-e-Bang which gets published in Murshidabad in Urdu, and if you read that, that clearly states of separating Murshidabad from West Bengal and making the old Nawabi, creating the Nawabi Bengal as Banglastan. There are radical people out there. We are continuously seeing that from Khagragor blasts, from Noihati blasts, there are 9 districts in West Bengal which are sitting absolutely on explosives. In 2011, during UPA regime, the law clearly states there are 20% illegal infiltration from Bangladesh in India. Whereas a government gets elected with a difference of 4% votes, we in West Bengal have 20% illegal immigration, which means from panchayat to parliament, people, there is an invisible hand.
Manojit Mandal, respond.
The representative.
Manojit Mandal, respond.
I can speak only if this newly radicalized person stops.
Oh,
How can I speak?
radicalized person. What do you mean by radicalized
Yes,
person, sir? Take back
he's
your
also-
words.
the
No,
way
sir.
he's
Sir, he's
speaking,
spoken
I'm
facts.
not-
No, he's spoken. Don't make personal innuendos. Don't make personal allegations. I will. Don't make personal allegations, Manojit Mandal. You will not get away with it. I respect you as a person, as a friend. I respect you as an academic. But your arguments today are being personal, are below the belt. I have not called you radical. I have not called you. I have only questioned an appeasement politics. I have questioned the allegations made against Mamata Banerjee's Bengal. I have asked you what has been done about Murshidabad. Don't try and get personal with panelists. Don't get personal with panelists, Manojit Mandal.
Take back my word.
It is very convenient for you. It is very convenient for you to get and hit below the belt and make these. Did Raj Larry call you by name? Did he call you names? He did. Did he get personal with you? Twice you have taken jibes at him. That means he's getting under your skin. That means he's asking questions which are hurtful to you. That means he is asking questions which are uncomfortable to you. That means he's asking you questions which you don't have answers for.
All these right
Sorry. No. I'll tell you one minute. One minute. No. 1 minute. Calm down here, please. Calm down here, please. I am making one point very, very clear. Manojit Mandal, you answer me. What happened what has happened in the crackdown to the madrasas, radical madrasas in Murshidabad, which were unauthorized? They were on encroached land. They were not even part of the entire Waqf board system. They had no clue what is going on. And this investigation happened last year and into 2018 and 2019. What has been done? Have they been shut down? Has that porous border been shut down? Just now, sir, the BSF has again arrested infiltrating Bangladeshis into Bengal from the North 24 Parganas.
You're dramatizing the whole thing, and let me answer.
I am not dramatizing, sir. You are getting personal. I am asking you questions on facts. Raj Larry is asking questions on facts. No, you are, sir. You were, sir. You were with a particular. No. You have a problem with that person, so you get personal with that person. That's not behave of you. That does not behave of you. No, sir. He is asking questions, sir. He is asking questions of what is being done in your government in Bengal under this government. He has every right to ask that question, sir. No, sir, he was not lying. Sir, he said there is a publication, sir. You tell me there is no publication. You tell me, Manojit Mandal. 1 minute. No. Manojit Mandal, don't twist facts. Yes. He said there is a publication in Murshidabad which is allowed to publish radical literature in Urdu, which talks about a separate. No, he said that. No. He said, sir, that is what that publication is propagating. The question should be asked, why is this publication being allowed to produce such literature? Why is it allowed to produce such venom? Sir, Raj Larry made FIR. Sir, why should he file? You should file, sir. So what is the Bengal government doing? What is the intelligence doing? What is the Kolkata police? What is the Bengal police doing? Why are they allowing this kind of literature to be published if it is being published? That's a fair question to ask. That's a fair question to ask. No, that's a fair question to ask. To try and get personal with some people is wrong. Sir, he named the publication. He said it is being published in Murshidabad, and he said that's his allegation. Prove him wrong. Raj Larry.
Manojit Mandal, please listen it carefully before you put out any allegations. Number one, what happened in the Nalla Khali dangas, in Degonga? What happened in Baduria, in Goshirhat? What did you do for Goshirhat, Baduria? In 2000?
No. Sir, he lives in Bengal. And that's why he's asking these questions. Don't get personal and try and get away with Manojit Mandal. I totally object to this, and I am very, very disappointed that you are only getting into personal innuendo to get away from these questions. 1 minute. Sardar RP Singh. My point is, why is this kind of vehement backing? Professor Dinesh Watney, sir, I'll come back across to you in just a bit. Sir, we can't hear your audio. 1 minute, sir. Professor Watney, please hang on.
Organizations in their respective countries. And most of the poor and vulnerable from the society are attracted toward this radicalization.
No.
And radicalization is a political tendency. Radicalization
No.
is a political
Sir,
practice to
it
defeat
is
the
not a
progressive
it is
spread
not it is
throughout the
not a
world.
it is not a
Everybody knows
political
this thing.
sir, if it is a
Thousands of
political
research
tactic, then who is
papers
employing it, and why is it being allowed? Why are these people being allowed? Sir, they have come in from Murshidabad. Why are they being allowed? Who are these people who have been operating on our soil and who are getting away with it? 1 minute, Sardar RP Singh. Sardar RP Singh. Don't talk about other nations, sir. I am worried about India. I am saying what is being done if there is a trend that is emerging. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Sardar RP Singh. You heard what the arguments coming from the left and from the support of the Trinamool are. Now you tell me, sir, what is going on?
See, I'm shocked, and I can understand the way they are reacting on it. They can blame it on poverty or whatever, but they can't tell that how many people who are well-read, well-educated, who comes from good families, who comes from rich families also are part of this.
सर इसी लिस्ट में मैंने अभी at the top of the show I read out what their occupations and what their vocations were, who these people were. I'm going to read it out again. Murshid Hassan was a casual laborer. Yaqub Bishwas was a salesman in a garment shop. Musharraf Hussain was a cook, but Atahur Rahman was pursuing graduation. He's a second-year art student. Abu Sufyan, engaged in farming, was a tailor earlier. Then Liu Yan Ahmad is an electrician in a college. Mainul Mondal is a cook. Najmus Shakib is pursuing graduation in computer science. Al Masoon is a mason and he's also a driver. They are not illiterate people, sir. They are all literate. They are all employed in certain work. But the fact is, they were highly radical and they had a devious, diabolical plan.
Because they get that environment where they are radicalized, where they get that sort of environment in their respective state, especially districts where the government supports such people, or they also know if they do some activity, they can do away with that. I mean, later on, government will stop toward them. That's the problem, and that's the reason that districts like Murshidabad or in Ernakulam, they make their hubs, and then they do their activities, and all this is crap saying that they are being radicalized because they are poor. They are radicalized because they know that they can do away with whatever they want to do. And there are people within the government who protect them, who give them patronage.
No, 1 minute. Let me ask you, Professor Dinesh Vashne. In Kerala, there is no BJP. There is only left and the Congress as far as the political narrative is concerned. Why is it that we have 8 ISIS widows from Kerala who are currently languishing in Afghanistan? Why is it that the maximum number of ISIS movements which happened, and it's huge, is happening there? Why are there organizations who have an objective? And I'm quoting a former chief minister on the court in the Kerala High Court who has stood up and said that their objective is to convert Kerala into a Muslim state in 20 years. Why are these organizations being allowed there? Secondly, sir, and this entire thing, the entire group of radicalization, the entire accord, Al-Qaeda's activities, a UN report has come out and said, and international reports have said that they are using Kerala as a medium of trying to get Pakistan, and funding coming into Kerala and Kerala accounts being used to fund social strife, spy nets and also terror modules is now becoming an everyday story, sir. Friday we did a story, Thursday we did a story, and the arrests that happened, they're all linked to Kerala. What is happening, sir? There is no BJP there.
Look, first of all, Anand, let me tell you one thing. Philosophically and politically, radicalization and terrorism is a political thought. It is a political tendency. These type of politics have been supported by the right reactionary organization throughout the world. Their emergence existed.
So who's pushing, who's encouraging the extreme right? No, 1 minute.
Number
1 minute.
As far as
Sardar RP
Kerala
Singh,
is
1 minute.
concerned,
RP Singh,
we
1
were
minute.
the biggest sufferers of these type of right reactionary radical organizations. Let the government of India ban them. We will support them.
No.
All the right
Why is the Kerala government not calling for a ban? Sir, the Kerala government has not yet written to the government. The Kerala government has not yet written to the government of India. The Kerala government has not yet written to the government of India. And let me also ask you, sir, who is allowing the extreme right? Who is allowing the extreme right among the Muslim sections? Highly radicalized right in
the
Muslim
terrorism.
section,
These
who is allowing them a
tendencies
free
have
run?
evolved and
Who is
developed to
allowing,
harm
who
the
is allowing,
progressive movement
who is
throughout
allowing,
the world.
who is
Not
allowing
only
a
in India,
quote
throughout the
unquote
world.
atheist left movement to be dominated by one particular religious section and radicals from that section in Kerala politics? You tell me, sir. Why is this being allowed? Why is this being allowed? Tell me, sir. Sir, in Kerala,
it is
left
not
versus
allowed.
Congress, right?
As and when
Left versus
anything
Congress.
happens,
So,
we
whose
immediately
political
act.
narrative is
But the banning
radicalization?
on these
In
organizations can
Kerala,
only
it
be
is
done
left
by the
versus
central
Congress.
government.
Whose political
Let
narrative
central
is
government decide.
radicalization?
Let the central
No, sir.
government
No,
pass
sir.
the law
Has
that
Pinarayi
these
Vijayan,
organizations
has
will
the
be
left
banned
government in
and they will
Kerala,
be not
which in the
allowed to
past has
operate,
called out
and we
these
will take some
organizations,
instructions. We have
has
some
it written to
instructions.
the Home
We
Minister,
don't care
has
for
it
any
written to the Home
terrorist
Minister
organization.
that we want these
We are very
organizations
hard.
banned?
We are very hard on
That we want these
But
organizations
who
banned.
were found in the supporters
Sir,
of
the Kerala gold smuggling, sir, the NIA is investigating a terror angle to the Kerala gold smuggling scandal too. The Kerala gold smuggling scandal too. Bengal to Kerala and its machinations, eventual destination Jammu and Kashmir. Sir, you know what is happening.
the RSS for support.
Sir, don't try and blame it on the RSS, sir. Don't try and blame it because in the political narrative in Kerala, there is no BJP.
Of these right
Sir, and in the political narrative of Bengal, till 2016 there was no BJP. There was no BJP. There was no BJP till 2016 in the political narrative in Bengal. There is no BJP in Kerala even today, sir. That's the reality. That's the reality. Don't pass it off on somebody else. I have to wind up on that note. I have to wind up on that note. Sir, it's a truncated version on the weekend edition. We just have about half an hour. We've already run through the course of time here. Thank you very much for watching. We take a short break. Stay with us here at CNN News 18.
India, December and